We'll call the Shoreline Fire Department RFA board meeting to order for September 18th, 2025. Please stand and join the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have any public comment? No. Doug? Do you want anything or have anything to say?
Nothing today, thank you.
Thank you, Doug. Moving on, consideration of the agenda. Chief, anything?
No, I think we're good.
Anybody else have anything to add? Okay. Motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Josh.
Second.
It's been motion by Commissioner Pratt and seconded by Commissioner Webster. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Awesome, thanks, guys. We have got several minutes to approve for past minutes. Let's start with August 21st, regular meeting minutes. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the meetings for August 21st.
I'll second.
It's been motioned by Commissioner Webster and seconded by Commissioner Sullivan. Any changes or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. September 4th, 2025 meeting minutes. Motion?
I'll make it approve the minutes of September 4th.
Rod, you want to second it?
Second.
Second, okay. Been moved by Commissioner Sullivan, seconded by Commissioner Headland. Again, any questions, concerns, or changes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. We have our meeting minutes from September 11th, opening ceremony. Motion?
Make a motion. Accept the minutes of September 11th.
Second?
Seconded.
It's been motioned by Commissioner Webster, seconded by Commissioner Pratt. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. And our last one, September 15th, special meeting or workshop meeting.
Motion to approve minutes from September 15th. Seconded.
Been motioned by Commissioner Pratt, seconded by Commissioner Webster. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Correspondence. It looks like we've got a nice thank you letter here from citizen from Holy Neighborhood. Yes. And I have one to add to that.
Michelle,
That's probably the shop that it or even.
okay. I didn't know that was the lady that just got it. Hey, thanks,
Oh, Michelle Pitt was there.
yeah, I didn't know that was.
Oh, yeah, that's probably.
Thank you.
I'm assuming it's her because she's the only coordinates and runs those things. So.
I got a text message from a friend of mine. She had a heart attack not too long ago and wanted to tell me that Shoreline's Finest responded to her call and they were terrific. Just nothing but praise to them. I'm thinking, girl, you just got out of ICU and you're texting me saying, thank you, Shoreline, but that's great. So I asked her and she said, yes, please share it. So sharing it.
Always great to hear.
Yes, yes. That noise, are you gonna explode? Okay, all right. All right, moving on, our standing agenda warrants, motion to approve. Okay,
So I'll move to accept disbursements in the amount of $1,071,491.
I will second that.
it's been motioned by Commissioner Pratt, seconded by Commissioner Wallen. Thank you, Lisa. Is there any
Mhm.
questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Thank you, guys. Moving on to commissioner report, instead of going around the room, does anybody have anything? No. Tyler, nothing? Okay. No financial report, strategic activity report, anything, chief?
We're gonna be talking about a couple of things later on there at the agenda. I've kick it to Matt if there's an update on HVAC. It's kind of one of our strategic projects right now.
Yeah, so thanks, chief. We just sent out the RFP for the Station 57 HVAC project. We spent a couple weeks prior to releasing the RFP, working with our architects and several different companies, just talking to them about types of systems that are going into these buildings as they relate to the Washington clean energy mandates that are taking place. And we put some specific language in there about what kind of system we're looking for. So we bounced that RFP back and forth between Anders and I and the architects. It's awesome having an architect on, you know, as a partnership, because they're, they have a lot of resources to reach out to and ask people questions as well. So I just want to say thanks for approving that partnership with the architects. That's proved super valuable in the last few months, including on this project. So feel very good about the RFP. I did send it to Commissioner Webster. He looked it over and thought the RFP looked great as well. We, like I said, have posted the RFP using the SmallWorks MRSC roster. It went out to like 130 different companies that are listed under HVAC. We have, in this week alone, we've had a couple companies come out and do site visits. Project manager Hanson has been meeting them to do walkthroughs and look at blueprints and answer their questions. So I would expect that in the next 2 weeks before the RFP closes, that we'll get a handful of proposals back from vendors. The proposals are due the afternoon of September 30th. On the 1st, I'm going to send all the proposals received out to Anders and the architects and Commissioner Webster for just review. And on this morning of the 2nd, we have a meeting scheduled to score the proposals received based on the evaluation criteria in the RFP. And then that night at the commissioner meeting in Station 61, I'll bring a recommendation to this board of which proposal to accept. So and with your approval of that meeting on the 2nd, we can award that and hopefully get that project underway, and they can start ordering equipment for that right away. We're hoping, as I've mentioned before, tie that HVAC project into the timing of the generator project to decrease the impact on the crew at 57 with not having multiple projects over several different work periods, but try and knock out stuff kind of simultaneously. So that's a factor in our decision with this process too. So any questions about that? Yeah.
What was the date? You said the second of October.
2nd of October is when we will be scoring the proposals that we received based on the evaluation criteria in time to be able to come to that meeting that night and present you with a recommendation. So
It's pretty quick.
yeah, there is some Beatrice has the RFP to send out in your board packet for prior to the October 2nd meeting, and I'll have a paper copy of the proposal that we recommend going with to give to you, and I can email to you if you guys prefer the day that morning of the second, if you wanna look through that, and then I can even bring paper copies for the meeting. And we just trying to maximize the month for vendors to submit, and we just didn't want to miss the wait until 2 more weeks to bring a recommendation to you. So
I have one more question.
yeah,
Does that HVAC plan account for any potential additional buffers?
yes. So we with the architect, we put language in the proposal in the RFP that says that if we were to convert the existing exercise room at 57 into 2 additional bedrooms, which with their help, we've penciled out that it would work within the existing framework of the building. It would just be interior work that would need to be done. Then the language in the RFP says, you know, prepared to be able to extend or move the, you know, they have a unit in each of the rooms. So I think what we're planning on doing, what I think is likely is that I would expect proposals back that has like a mini split on each side of the exercise room right now. And then if we put a wall in it, then it's kind of all set up for already for a 2 bedrooms.
Thanks. It did remind me when you said RFP, just FYI, we just put out an RFP for, and we're not sure what we're going to get, but we're hoping that we have a lot of different options to choose from, but we put an RFP out for mental health support. And that could take on a number of different forms, whether it's a contract or relationship with a single person or a clinic or an agency or something to improve upon the mental health and well-being of all of our employees. This is more internally facing than external, but would potentially have a role in a large event in a debrief and stuff and of that nature as well. There's other departments that have pursued this and with some pretty great success. And we've got a good peer support team, but we need more and we need management of that and so forth. So, you know, so once we get some of those results, I'll be able to have probably Andres report out on that because he's been leading that process.
Would this be a full-time position?
We don't believe it's a full-time position. It's more, it'll depend on if it's with a single person or if it's with a group of people, some kind of relationship and under contract. And we just don't know. And frankly, we don't know if it'll be supported in the 2026 budget because it could be very expensive. So it'll be one of those things that we evaluate through the budget process and then as a recommendation as well.
Any other comments or questions? Moving on to RFA activity reports. Let's start with Chief Callan.
One thing I did want to update on because it's in there is the negotiations. I spent a few hours today going through making a lot of cleanup of the uniform CBA. So it's getting pretty close to be done. Although there were a few things that popped up that we talked with Doug about to make sure that it was okay. As soon as I get that done, I'm going to send it out to you guys to start looking at reviewing if you'd like. And then I'll be preparing a briefing at a high level of some of the bigger topics that were negotiated and agreed to, and we'll do that in the executive session. And it's later on in the projected agenda. I am planning on missing the October 2nd meeting, but I'm gonna try. I'm thinking about it. I may try and either remote in or something. I don't know. We'll see. But I do expect that I should be able to get that CBA language to you very shortly.
Sorry, what is NEMCO status? What is that? What's that? Acronym?
No update really there. North and Emergency Management Coalition.
Gotcha.
It originally was the North Shore Fire Department, the cities of Lake Forest Park and Kenmore, and the North Shore Utility District. In doing emergency management functions for the 2 cities, the utility district, and even somewhat, for the North Shore Fire Department. It's evolved, changed over the years now. The North Shore Utility District is no longer a partner, and there's some evaluations going on, and even recently I had more decisions to stay in NEMCO, but there was the possibility that they were gonna do something separate as well. So there's still, it's in a bit of flux right now as to what the future looks like for NEMCO. I've encouraged the city of Shoreline to also be involved in some of these discussions, to see if there's an opportunity for even better partnership. And the city administrators are, I believe, are having some of those conversations. My last one-on-one with Chris Arlington, he's the city manager for Shoreline, is that he was, I think, more optimistic and encouraged than he had been in the past, but yet to be determined.
I have a question, on your public records request, it says ongoing, is this?
For me, we have public records requests all the time, and it really hit and miss depending on what's going on, and so forth. Most of the requests are fairly easy to fulfill. Whether it's a certain record because there's a court case that's going on, regarding like a car accident that we've been to, or tank removal, from the fire marshal's office, looking at, old diesel tanks or fuel tanks and things like that. But we also have some that are more significant and extensive. And we get those now and then too, but I'm also dealing with somebody who's, I think to date has made, I think around 200 and something requests so far this year of me. It's been, and I take on some specific ones for me, so I share it in my activity report only because it has potentially impacted my workload.
I have a question on the brain rescue training.
Yes.
Where does that happen and what kind of training happens?
So it was, we sent four, I think it was four. I think it was 4 people to Texas. 5, yeah, like I said, 5. 5 people to Texas. And they have a very elaborate and well-developed not only program, but props, training, staff trainings, and things of that nature. This is supported by the Sound Transit dollars, and they came back and said it was absolutely phenomenal training, and they got a lot out of it. So the plan would be to send a handful of people for there, come back and then deliver that training to the rest of the rescue technicians and even all staff as appropriate, because there's some people that are a higher level than others as far as the level of training.
Chief, could you touch on the September 10th Regional Crisis Response Operations Board meeting?
Sure. So I sit on the operations board for it's more than just the racer. It's pairing up with the crisis connections, so forth too. Actually, the 2 people that were in our meeting just yesterday were with Brooke Buchner. She runs the program. So we met and in Bothell and reviewed some of the data over the past year, the usage of the crisis response teams in the county, racer, more specifically racer and utilization, but also how that pairs with the crisis care center in Kirkland. Looking at data, looking at challenges, looking at what can we do better in the future. I brought in some perspective on mobile integrated health, and our teams, they're doing similar work but separated out. Are you guys familiar with Racer? Do I need to explain the Racer program?
Yes, please.
Okay. So the Racer program is kind of an offshoot of a different program based in police. It is for the regional crisis response team. So they basically are pairing up with police presence to go and do interventions that are for people that are in crisis. And they do some referral work too, but very, not nearly like what MIH does. This is a partnership across the 5 cities of Shoreline, Lake Forest Park, Kenmore, Bothell, and Kirkland. Kirkland is actually a champion of this and kind of drove a lot of the momentum in this direction. And it's really to try and have a different way of dealing with very stressful and potentially chaotic scenes, and to de-escalate and trying to avoid worse outcomes, you know, potentially with intervening with police for people that are in crisis or distress. And so the RACER program is more kind of police-based, where our NIH team is more it's fire-based, and we don't. Our team still does some work with people that are in crisis and all that, but not in an acute, you know, scene where there's the potential for danger, right, things of that nature. We do a lot more of the referral work, although we are expanding what we're doing currently, and to get back into low acuity, more into low acuity, the non-critical type of incidents, and responding out on scenes and so forth, and looking for, you know, expanding some of the management of that program as well. And then also looking for partnerships too. In fact, I have a meeting coming up with the chief of Kirkland to talk just to catch up on other things too. But one of the things that we're going to talk about is, can we partner up with, you know, better and be even better, and you know, the rising tide lifts all boats. Well, of all of us getting better together. But all of these things kind of feed into the same type of holistic approach that we're trying to take, you know, in our communities. You know, we all know that there's gaps in our systems. There's gaps in what the fire department, you know, provides, what police provides, what our clinics provide, what our hospitals provide, and so forth. And so this is a way of trying to partner those people together. So
What was the level of usage, like the review of usage data?
I don't have those statistics. I'm supposed to get a PowerPoint, or not a PowerPoint, but the data shared with us. She had it on. Should take pictures. I should take. Some other guys were taking pictures. I didn't take pictures, but there's a bunch of data that was put up on the walls as we were looking at reviewing some of the data. So sorry, I don't have. It was. It was. I do know that there was one that stuck out at me. There was 1,800 interventions that had a positive outcome, and that was one of the questions: is how do you define positive outcomes? There's 18 interventions in 5,400 calls for service for the RACER program, and a lot of those are canceled or not, you know, or even duplicate calls, depending on. That's another issue of data collection, and how do you filter out some of the fluff. I was kind of impressed with that. One of the data charts showed is the growth in the usage of the crisis clinic. And what I found interesting was that the predominant hospital that's dealing with these things is obviously it's Evergreen, in conjunction with the crisis clinic, and they haven't really seen a decrease in the number of those types of calls that they typically saw in the emergency room, the emergency department. It's kind of plateaued a little bit, but it hasn't decreased while the clinic continues to increase in its usage, which is what you would expect, that as people start to get more and more knowledge of it and the opportunities, and even in the meeting that just from yesterday, I think there's more awareness around the entire county, even though the clinic is centered here, or it's based, it's here in Kirkland, and you'd think it'd be centered, and the clients and the customers would come from this immediate area, which is true. They're also being sent from other parts of the county. I think that will only increase, and there's plans for expanding the more clinics. I think that's probably going to be in Seattle. It looks like they're kind of close to getting that the property cemented. But one of the things that I think is going to happen is that as you continue to get better awareness, you'll get better usage. And theoretically, at some point, the hospital should see a decrease as they shift. But right now, there's more awareness. So I think there's more
demand.
Yeah, I was gonna say more people, but more demand. for this, and so both the hospital is seeing a plateau while the clinic's still increasing. But at some point, I think that the clinic will continue to increase and the hospital hopefully start decreasing, because that's one of the goals too, is to not burden our emergency departments with people that aren't gonna get the care that they need necessarily from emergency.
Any other questions?
Sorry, I don't have that. I should take a picture.
Let's move on to Chief Hookstein's.
I'm sure this has been on many reports, but what does Gallatin do?
What does Gallatin do?
Yeah,
So they're a strategic communication firm. They were heavily involved in the messaging and the communication of the community, helping us internally with our messaging, develop messaging for the RFA.
so
now
we're still,
With the-
we're still retaining them first.
in a reduced contract right now. Chief, you want to speak to that at all?
Yeah, we reduced the level of contract, but they're still doing ongoing training with staff. And helping us with improving our website portal, social media presence, things of that nature. So we felt that we would continue with this relationship for now. And especially with the possibility that we'll need some more strategic communications coming up. And then the plan has always been at some point to either decrease almost to zero or to sever the contract entirely. I don't know, I've seen such good benefit from them being here, or well, the one gentleman that we work with, his name's Bruce. That I don't know if I ever wanna go entirely away, but maybe reduce it down to just, on an as needed basis, but I really have found this relationship to be really beneficial. Not only for staff, but for us and our presence and our outreach. It's improving with, say, like the RFP process and how we both well, especially on that healthcare provider. That I said he did a bunch of research of where to send it out and things of that nature. He helps with our recruitment, and when we're out there trying to encourage and access more people for our entry level hiring, things of that. It's all over the place. But he's really elevated our game and
Yeah, that's great.
and identified where we knew we had some gaps, but really not only helping solve some of those gaps, but identifying the ones we needed to know yet.
Sure, well, it makes sense, because I feel like we usually staff those positions with people who've come through the fire department, but weren't necessarily, a professional communications person, and they're coming along,
Yeah.
so.
I know this is the whole rest of it.
You're exactly right.
So
Great.
it's
They're
been,
really cool, especially when you need them.
They are.
yeah. And the retainer also allows them, hopefully not, but if we ever have a major incident, to help us with the messaging out to the public media and so forth. Some of the training that we went through was to look at some of those that didn't go so well, not here. Also learning opportunities from other, media events that probably could have gone better. So helping with a number of different things in that nature.
I did not include in my report, but I'm excited to say that it looks like our new ladder truck should be arriving at Hughes next week, is the estimated arrival time. So they've got some work to do there for a little while before it comes to Shoreline, but it's headed west. Very soon.
And just once it comes here, then we have to do work ourselves too.
Yes.
Building up the.
And training.
And training. It's very similar to our existing truck, but it still requires training. At some point, we will have a push in ceremony, which I'll make sure everybody knows.
What's the vintage of the truck it's replacing?
So it's replacing our current ladder 161, and our plan at this point is to keep that in a reserve role. We've grown to the point where I don't want to rely on the cash, the apparatus cash that we've been partnering with Kirkland, Redmond, and Eastside to share reserved apparatus, and in this particular case, a ladder truck. We need our own reserve ladder truck, and so our where it goes, it'll likely come here for a space, but we have not defined that entirely yet. There's the possibility we can maybe put some other places, but it's big. It doesn't fit and it's not easy to,
So the existing ladder truck will not be in that cache.
though, I'm sorry.
The existing ladder truck will not be in that cache.
No,
available
it
to
will
us.
not be in
Okay.
that cache, which is a little controversial, in some of the conversations, because we had entered into that reserve, I wanna say 7 years ago, 8 years before my, yeah, it might have been closer to 10 years ago. In some, actually, it's even more than that if you think about the different forms it's been, but we were very intentional. And it was probably more than 7, probably closer to 10 years ago, as we were looking at replacing our current ladder truck and the age of that truck and the reliability of it. We needed to get a new ladder truck, but at the same time, we needed hopefully to have access to a reserve and help us with our WSRB rating, etc. And so we entered into a contract, and over the years, there's been different ladder trucks that have been serving in that reserve apparatus role. I'm not gonna get into all the details, here tonight, but we continue to have some frustrations with the accessibility to that apparatus and the reliability of that apparatus when it got here, for us to be able to use. So that's why I made the decision. Well, it was about 4 years ago that I ordered it, so it was a little over 5 years, about 5 years ago. That I decided that we needed our own reserve, and I was like, because at that point, that our current truck was only about 3 or 4 years old at that point, and way early to replace, from a life cycle replacement strategy. But we needed it, and because of the growth that was going on in the area, I used predominantly impact fees to pay for a new ladder truck. And so our current truck still has quite a bit of life left in it. But at the same time, it's also not at a point where we would normally recycle it out of first due or first line usage. And so I'm not interested in sharing that as part of that cache with Kirkland, Redmond, and Eastside, which was a little bit of controversial news. They were thinking that it was going to be used, and I'm like, not 15 years old. I'm not sending this, to reserve status. It's still a frontline apparatus for us. So at some point, maybe it will, but not in the near future.
Thanks.
Do we pay into that reserve?
A little bit.
Or if we provided apparatus, would revenue come the other way?
Well, we did offer up our old LTI ladder truck, the old one that was 23 years old, 24 years old by the time we got it replaced. And it served in that reserve cache for a little while. And then there was another one, and then I think the current one is the old ladder 131 from Woodville. That's the one I think that's in there now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's had a few different things. We helped pay for regular maintenance.
Those just had one apparatus in that,
There's one ladder.
one ladder.
And that's the one that's the apparatus that we've been particularly more interested in. We have plenty of reserve fire engines, but there is the potential for reserve fire engines too. And this goes back a long ways of, I think that it's a good idea. I mean, the concept is a good one. The intent is a good one. It was just and other partners got a lot of value out of it. We just seemed to be we just kept bad timing, it wasn't working for us at the time that I pulled the trigger on the new truck. And we still want to stay in the relationship and contribute, because it's not very expensive. We're just helping with, and maybe with maintenance. And if there's any major, repairs that we share the cost. So it's not very expensive for us, and it does have access to reserves, and it helps foster regional partnerships. So that part, there's a lot of good things that are still happening.
I think it's really just Shoreline, Kirkland, and East Side they're the only ones with tiller ladders that access that. The Redmond's got, platform, Waffle's got a platform.
Yeah.
And then Bellevue has their own insurance.
So, I actually am giving you a lot more details than I expected. So about 5 years ago, we actually, and even more recently, we were actually interested in purchasing and taking over the maintenance of that ladder truck, that reserve ladder truck. We actually had it in 63 for many months as we were working through the purchasing agreement and the price with Eastside. We actually done a thorough check on it. Patrick had developed the plan on how to repair things and get things up to speed. And so we were actually still invested in being part of that, and then Eastside changed their mind and took it back, and I was like, okay. So, yeah, sorry, I'll just knock it out there.
Hopefully it's a yes or no.
Sorry. Well, I just want to make sure you guys have the details.
Let's hear what you asked for.
I can be short, sorry.
In what way are we participating in the Bothell letter final inspection?
Yes, so our shop fleet manager, Patrick, is gonna be going back to Sutton for that's a rebuild of their existing ladder.
Oh, it's real.
It's.
Well, there's two, yeah.
Yeah, so the ladder I'm mentioning in my report is they've completed they're a couple weeks away from finishing the rebuild of that apparatus, and Patrick worked with Bothell Fire on that, as since we're doing the fleet maintenance for their rigs, to help identify what should or should not be included in that rebuild. And Bothell definitely wants their mechanic Patrick to go back and make sure that all the work that was done is to his satisfaction and meets the what we paid for, what Bothell paid for. So Patrick and then one member of their ladder committee will be going back in a few weeks to make sure everything's good to go, and back that ladder will be coming back this way from Ohio. Bothell was also in the process of buying a new ladder, which is currently under construction at Pierce.
So Bothell's without a ladder truck right now.
Bothell has no ladder truck for them.
Plan is that that reserve Bothell platform will come back, and with the work that's being done now, should get another 6 to 8 years out of usage out of it, and will be a good reserve. It's not, again, we have tiller, they have platform, they're not, can't share reserves that way. Plus tillers won't fit in any of the fire stations involved. So the decision was made to extend the life of that current truck by doing this major overhaul, and buy a new truck, which pre-funded early next year.
And their new one is also a platform.
What's that?
Is their new one also a platform?
Yes. It's a Pierce platform.
Is there anything else for Chief Holstein? Chief Orms is on vacation, so I don't believe we got a report from him. So we'll move on to the business life pack purchase.
So, we spend a bit of money.
We could or we will.
No, we have to spend that. And to the tune of just over $500,000 on new light packs. And this will not come due till next year, but I'm informing you because there's a pretty good price hike coming up in 2 weeks. And so I'm planning on making the purchase unless there's issues here tonight, to avoid a pretty significant cost increase and saving ourselves. I want to say it's like I think it's like about $17,000. So, and we need to make the purchases. Our current apparatus, the equipment, are beyond their life cycle, it's hard, we were lucky to find some new batteries to be able to extend. But we do need to make these replacements, and a lot of departments in the county have already made the replacement. We weren't planning on it necessarily quite this early, but it is coming to that point.
It's just the medical life packs.
Both.
Okay, so it's also
So
the
the
AEDs.
Life Pack 15s for our BLS and Life Pack 35s for the ALS side. The purchase also includes a 5-year warranty service warranty contract to help us with any upgrades, because there is some expected upgrades coming on the BLS side on the 15s.
So are the 15s are like a big, or are they like the AED?
I don't know.
It's the ALS version that's been dumbed down for BLS use. It's the only product that, outside of the Zoll X series that meets the King County EMS requirement for both audio and data recording, and then the ability
And downloading, yeah.
to get that information out to King County for review of cardiac arrest.
Interesting, that's just a much bigger piece of equipment to have to carry into every call.
Yeah, there's no, the Philips FR3 is no longer being produced. You can't find, they won't even support repair.
That's a
So
change.
this is not, can we, it is, we need to and have to make these purchases.
Question about is, it was an unknown purchase, is this something that's like we do with the apparatus, have a fund that we put into the budget every year? Do we have anything in our budget line for this purchase?
Not right, not in the 2025 budget. We knew this was coming, we didn't know when. A lot of it had to do with the development of and there was some, again, I'm not the best to answer this question, but maybe you know, it needed some approvals as well for licensing. In the future, we have identified it in our 20-year replacement strategy. It's just, it's not funded. Yeah, I mean, we have capital funds to take care of these things, but it's not, it's budgeted for, but, or I'm sorry, it's allocated for, but it's not fully funded at this point.
I would offer a couple things. One, the price point on Life Pack 15 is significantly higher than what most agencies were expecting.
Yeah.
The old FR3s were like a $5,000 piece of equipment, so even if agencies were saving in advance, they're expecting like a $6,000 to $7,000 purchase. The Life Packs are $11,000.
What's the Zoll price point?
About the same, about 11,000.
There,
It's very similar.
yeah, and that's actually one of the reasons why some of these things got delayed too, because of the price point and some departments have chosen to go a different direction. I think Bellevue went a different direction.
Zoll, I believe.
Yeah. I was still hoping too, to your point too, I was hoping that the county was going to exert some influence and do some county purchasing on this and embed it within like the EMS levy or something like that, because everybody's in the same boat. Everybody's having to make these purchases.
So Chief, kind of the second half of what I was gonna say is, even at that $7,000 price point, had we been saving, like in a sinking fund or some type of reserve account specifically for that, knowing that that replacement is coming every 8 to 10 years, right? You're gonna need new ones. So my recommendation is that we set aside a specific fund going forward for replacement of these. Because while the county has delayed, it's more expensive. Even if we had 2/3 of that, it would be significantly better than the position that we're in.
Yeah, and again, we do have it identified in our 20-year replacement strategy. It's just not funded at as high a level as I would like.
I think it's probably a 10-year. This replacement cycle, right?
It's a good question. I
8
want to say 10. I thought it was 10 or 12. I can't remember. Let's try and the full bill for our for our 15s is 503,000.
Fifteens, and that's 15s and 35s together.
No, this is just the 15s.
Oh, we should talk.
How many devices is that?
But it's 30. 30 devices, batteries. Straps, carrying cases, electrodes.
All,
Printer paper, the service.
all in the life pack 15 is 10.5 for all of that stuff.
We are at 5,900 on the piece of equipment itself, then all the add-ons and everything. I'm gonna average out to.
It's 10.5.
You just went over this.
Yeah.
I'm
But we-
I'm sorry, I'm deep into the woods on this,
So,
in my own organization, yeah.
so we,
That's what it should be, but if it's 500,000 for 30 devices, that's 16,000 each.
we are already.
500,000 divided by 30.
The 500,000 also includes 5 years, the service plan that we have, which I don't know if you factor that in, and. Our modem, we need some, reporting out, which is another 1,467 per room.
How much are the ALS devices?
There are more, I didn't bring those because it's getting paid out of the King County EMS, those funds.
Oh, that is.
Those are about 35,000.
Yeah, as I said, it's at least twice to 3 times as much.
Everybody's
So-
stuck with this, so that sounds like.
So the life packs for the medic units. Is King County covering any of it?
Well, King County, the EMS levy covers that.
Okay.
We don't, the Shoreline Fire Department doesn't pay for that. If we pay for that out of the capital fund from the medical levy.
All right.
So Chief, the other thing is, I don't know where we are with BLS core money, but county has given permission to use core services money for this.
We typically use that money for our MIH program, it's been allocated that way. But and again, this will come due next year. I need to make a purchase now, the bill will come due next year. And again, this was at some point, it was gonna need to be funded, it's just, I was hoping that we'd be in a better position on the lineups, you know, that we have.
So what do you need from us?
I did. Unless there's, you know, major concerns, I just, this is more informational than anything else, because it's not budgeted for. It's not budgeted for, but it's not gonna be a 2025 expense either, it's gonna be 2026. So it'll be included in the 2026 budget. But I need to initiate I want to avoid spending more money, so. So. Anyway. Okay, thank you.
Okay, moving on to resolution 2517, the transfer of credit card accounts to RFA.
So one of the things that we needed to do was to reauthorize credit cards. Because as an RFA, we are an entity, so they need to be reissued and all that. So the details are, I think it's 31. 31 different credit cards. The breakdown is in the resolution as to where and all that. This is one of those things that's, as we set up the new RFA, this is painful.
Make motion that we approve. Resolution 25-17, transfer credit card accounts to RFA.
It's been motioned by Commissioner Webster. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
And seconded by Commissioner Wallen. Any discussion?
I just have a question. So all governing board members issue credit cards. It was 10 credit cards for governing
I
board.
thought it was some, but not all. But no, it looks like all.
Yeah.
Looks like all.
Hopefully all of that,
I think,
attend conference or whatever, but we have to document everything it's useful, but you'll get it, when it won't be issued cards.
In the past, we had an issue you already do to everybody, but it got a little clunky. Yeah,
Five of us,
So now we're doing it. Yeah. So,
Okay.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. There's no further questions or comments. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Next on the list is prepayment of the Pierce heavy duty rescue discussion.
So this will make the defibs look cheap. Yeah. So, and I can talk about, you know, what our capital funds look like and all that. We're in a position now where we, still can make a prepayment on the heavy rescue. And get not all the savings, but still get a pretty good portion of savings. It's 70, almost $71,000, $70,994. If we pay for it now. And so, I would want to bring this up and, I'd like to save that money. It will make an impact on our overall balance of capital funds, but this was also projected out in our 20-year strategic plan. So it's not, this wasn't unbudgeted or anything, it just was budgeted for now, it was budgeted for 2027. So, but we could take advantage of the prepayment and save nearly $71,000.
What's the impact financial? I mean, aside from the savings and the 70 of it,
That we would need to cut a check of about 1.8 million.
and that's not a problem.
No, we have 3.3 million in our capital fund right now. Which is low because we still have not made transfers from the general fund to the fire district. So you may recall, we had some conversations earlier this year as we were looking at the RFA that we decided that we were not gonna make the transfers until we had a better overall financial picture. So we're carrying quite a bit of funds in our general fund right now that we could transfer before the end of the year or transfer as part of the 2026 budget process. But we still have about 3.3 million right now between our capital funds. So just for example, right now we're carrying about 19.8 million in our general fund. And in our combined general funds with second half taxes still coming here this next month. So there is extra funds, and if you recall the RFA discussion topics and some of my PowerPoint slides and all that, we are in a good cash position, and we're planning on applying extra general funds to potentially impacting and lowering down our overall equivalent levy rate. So this is within our range of what we can do. It would just mean a less amount in our capital fund, and over the next year or two, but where we would have had those extra funds in there waiting for the 2027 purchase point.
Does it impact that plan that you just discussed about, reducing the levy rate?
No. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. I mean, it could. What I would plan on doing is, instead of bolstering up our capital fund, which is what I was planning on doing for 2026. Didn't need much, but I was thinking I was gonna transfer a little bit into that. We would still target some money to come into the capital fund, but we would just consciously know that our capital fund is gonna be less moving forward for the next couple of years, and then we'll recover over the next couple of years instead of the 2027 end.
We're still how many years out before we get this?
The rescue,
Yeah.
the
Pre-con is up to October of next year.
so sometime in
I think I read somewhere there though that they don't deliver it for 40 to 48 months or something.
Well, pre-con is in October of 26, delivery in June of 27.
Yeah, once you get to pre-con, it doesn't take long to build them.
Hmm.
It's just the queue to get into the point where they actually start building.
Because it's just a delivery of the product is scheduled to be within 44 to 49 months of the effective date of this agreement.
Yeah, that's
The original.
that's constantly shifting at Pierce. That's I think when they wrote the original contract, that was
That's the original date.
24.
Is it gonna be a different
Got it.
price? Than on here, it looks like that price expired.
So there are some change orders that will, and some of them we know about already. There will likely be some others as we get to pre-con, this time next year. Things that change, things, things that are, some of them are out of our control even.
Right.
About changes in requirements and codes and stuff. And then if we choose to change other things, there might be some more change orders at that point, just like what we just experienced with the shoreline ladder truck. So I can't guarantee that the price won't change more. The likelihood is it'll change again, hopefully not much. But we are, we do have some known change orders that we wanna look at. In fact, we were just, talking about one, even yesterday. To put it on board in press release. So. So the $71,000 in savings now also helps us with potential change orders. If you wanna look at it that way. Too.
So do you need authorization?
It's. I thought about that, it was just like, it's budgeted for, so. How about a consensus? From the board, if there's any, just a vote, I don't have a motion in front of you, I don't know if I necessarily need a motion, because this is already budgeted for. And all that, just not budgeted now, it's budgeted for 2027. So, and maybe it's just a vote, if that's.
My consent.
Obviously, this is a big ticket item, but it was also planned for, it's just a matter of trying to. If we're gonna save 71,000 and instead of the bill coming due in 2027, we're gonna have the bill now, which will. Decrease our overall capital funds, but again, it's kind of full.
Josh, you okay with it?
Yep.
Looks like things are naughty. Lisa?
Yeah.
It looks like we lost Tyler. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's something that I just wanted, this is such a big decision and again. We have, what's our next date is October, we have another price point change coming up, so I was like, we need to do this one now too. Yeah, thank you.
Last thing on our agenda is embroidery logo. And I put that on there, at our workshop, a number of you were talking about getting new shirts and. What the logo was gonna look like and stuff, so we thought, well, maybe we need to bring that up for discussion tonight. Shoreline Fire is what department is what the logos are now, do you guys want RFA added on there? Or leave it the way it is? I know a couple of you bought shirts already, you were getting ready to have them embroidered.
I feel like I don't mind the shoreline fire, but. We are an RFA and that doesn't say anything, for in conferences and stuff. It's different within the fire department, that's not. Regional Fire Authority, so it's a bigger organization and I would like to have that on, that's my feeling. I don't necessarily think everybody needs to be stashed, but I think it's nice to have something. For our commissioners.
Hey, Kim,
Yeah,
is it possible, or is it ever considered to like go to a badge that just sews on like some other guys bet like
a sew on?
yeah, rather than that 1,000 nail,
that's what this is.
I mean, that easier or cheaper, you get a bunch of those and see.
Got a shirt that shrunk.
No, I could just ask you that simple easier,
Yeah,
have a
yes,
bunch of standard badges to get sewn on.
it's very easy.
You could probably add like, I think you have a good point of like, we are an RFA, you could put regional fire authority and just stitching underneath it or something, just to make it easy, 'cause
Yeah.
then the logo's already
Yeah, I
done.
don't want to change the logo, but just to have to.
Replace all
Like
of them.
instead of saying Commissioner Harris, you can say regional fire authority and Commissioner Harris or
Do we have somebody's
just somebody that can mock something up.
box something?
I can,
Oh, it's you? No.
well, I'm not, I don't wanna do our shirts, but I can, I've got the software to
Okay.
do it, I could do something, and we could send it off to the person that's gonna.
Like I said, the regular batch is fine, I just want to have something so.
This would be universal, this would go department wide. All teachers, everything have to be changed if we're gonna make this thing, right?
I don't. I was hoping just maybe
I
the
think this should
commissioners,
be first question.
because that's, no, that's.
Oh, why not, that's why I'm bringing it up, I'm talking.
But it doesn't, we're not changing the logo, just adding boarding, I hate regional fire.
Yeah,
But everybody has X number of shirts. That have this on them.
Yeah.
So all of those would have to be changed, I would think.
I don't think so.
can I just,
Plus a Waffle Gent and they rename it back to North Shore.
Sure.
can I politely
Sure,
suggest that it's just the commissioners? For now?
That's fine, me, I'm just bringing it up because.
Okay, no, because I'm just thinking about all the shirts.
Yeah, I know.
There aren't any that,
That's not.
Yeah,
Just shirts. That is the.
how about, if you guys are okay with this,
Nice on that, Travis.
let's, because you guys,
Yeah, I know.
So let's, worry about the commissioners, what are they for?
Yeah.
And, I had not, I thank you for bringing that up though, because I had not thought about. Everything. And,
But we're saying the same thing goes for apparatus.
yeah, I mean,
So, hey, man, that's huge.
yeah.
There's something.
And we punted on our rebranding things, so I prefer just to address the immediate need, with the commission. with the
I think
board.
you're proposing a commissioner. Special RFA, sure, yeah,
That'd be great. Thank you.
I think
That'd be awesome.
that's acceptable.
It's not something on my foot. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm Matt.
We're gonna save the full.
That's support services,
We're gonna save the full rebranding conversation for this.
Yeah, let's. On that one.
anybody else have comments or suggestions, everybody okay with it?
So Kim, is this something that you would be able to get over to the lady that does the embroidery?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I'll get a hold of her and find out what kind of machine she's got and try to save the program accordingly.
okay.
It's always the challenge, it seems.
Yeah, or at least print out something for her and maybe she can digitize it.
Was it try?
Yeah. Sure.
So if she's got a different machine than I do, then our machines aren't gonna talk to each other and the program's gonna come out in
I know, it's.
funky language, so. Yeah, listenable, all the time, see what I can get done this week. Okay, projected agendas. Cowan said that he's going to be gone on the
Likely-
second,
yeah.
if not virtual.
Likely gone. I may try to go figure out a way to do remote.
I will be gone on the second.
Eric will be gone. You can always phone in, chief.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So maybe in October, the 20th of October until the end of December, I'll be.
20th of October
Yeah,
till December. Through December.
Lisa.
October 2nd.
But you will be virtual.
Yes.
Anybody else? We have open house coming up Saturday.
October 16th shows me in Zoom, but I can be able to attend that in person on the 16th.
Oh, you will?
The November 20th, I'll have to be absent or Zoom in.
I will be here on the 16th also. The 3.
Yeah, I've got you down on the.
So you're here on 16th,
Yeah, so we are on the 16th.
and you are now here on the 2nd.
No, here on the 16th,
On the
still gone,
16th,
still
on the
working on the
2nd.
second, yeah.
Okay. And then now on November.
The November 20th, I'll have to zoom in.
Okay, anything else? David, you're looking at your calendar, good for you.
Just note everything, you know.
Okay. All right, if there's nothing else, we will adjourn into executive session.
My statement. Oh, okay.
So
See that.
for litigation, RCW 42.30 .110 parentheses 1(5) for approximately 5 minutes.
Can we start that in just a couple of minutes?
Yes.
Give me time to kind of move people,
Yep,
so maybe about 6:37.
sure.
We have the ability here to take the vote too. If we prefer that.
Oh, that's a good point.
Well, then we have to include the Zoom people, but
Oh, yes, right.
Forget about this.
Oh. You want to so Canada.
I'll be back as soon as they let me back.
All gone, crap.
So it's, and we were split.
Okay, break out around.
The best, yes.
Yeah.
Break up. Somebody put them.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I grew from this south.
foundation, but it's actually directly there. So that's 3 days a week.
So.
And then
It looks like it's.
I've got some other volunteer stuff.
You're back.
That I do good stuff usually. I said, Bill, at least 45 years in here.
Hey Doug, you still there?
Good, but been doing some traveling on the side.
I am.
Can you just?
I just-
Okay, there you go.
February. March, it's supposed to be 2.5 weeks, and that's really good. December, 3 weeks.
Oh, there you go.
Already family.
How is that? You close? He closed one.
I understand.
My wife's cousin's son plays basketball. And for so long, he was actually. So.
In anyone, so.
So you are recording now.
Well, that's what keeps me sane. And it still doesn't eliminate the fact.
Doesn't matter, just left.
It's just left.
No, then it takes a few seconds, I guess, for them to
Actually-
return to a breakout room.
Or-
So he's still in there, let me see.
At the end of the day,
So it's 30%, I don't know, it's. Yeah,
Takes a while.
I guess so, like it won't let me get him out.
Something seems to be.
that's not wrong. I think we still have another, is there somebody got a signature? Right there.
So.
I don't wanna get on. That's at the end, right now.
He's back in.
Back in. Okay, so let me go and start voting again. but
So,
no-
yeah.
It's recording.
It's just really.
Oh, it is, okay, so it goes right away, it starts right away once we go back.
Okay, it's 6:46. We're back out of the executive session and we're adjourning. Thank you, everybody.
Have a good night.
Bye, Doug.